So we asked, how concerned are you about your health and safety on the job under this new legislation? And 47% of the people voted that they feel that their lives are at risk, and 38% said that they're very concerned and want more information. What are your thoughts on this, Denis?
Interesting result. And in fact, I was listening to Edith, and most of our health and safety legislation, especially the regulations, and I'm thinking of the violence prevention one and the hazardous products regulations, really have come forward through serious injuries and fatalities. What I see now is the gradual erosion of the presence of the inspectors in the workplace. Now, of course, the government will always claim that it's based on the internal responsibility system, meaning that workers and employers work together to ensure that we have safer workplaces. And that's pretty much true. The only thing they forget to add to all of this is that without strong government enforcement ensuring policing employers, it will be difficult to actually ensure that employers actually meet their legal responsibilities under the code. I mean, we've learned through the Westray Act that if you don't have strict enforcement in some of these industries and some of these hazardous activities, that the end result is loss of life and workers. So I'm just hoping that through these changes that we can have enough reaction to actually get the government to back down on some of these changes.
The sick leave question. When I asked you how important the issue of sick leave is to you, 74% of people on the call said it's very important to you, and you want to fight to keep your sick leave benefits. Edith, I just want to touch base with you on this. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, the results are pretty high, and it's evident that people are willing to fight for the sick leave, and they're not willing to take the stand for this attack. What do you see coming down the pipe in terms of sick leave, and how can we stand up for that together?
Well, this government has made it very clear that sick leave, public service sick leave benefits are very much on their agenda. It's something that was actually in the paper again today. Minister Tony Clement talking about the disdain he has for sick leave and for the benefits, which are really part of a very essential part of our members' working conditions. It's not, sick leave isn't actually contained in this legislation. There is nothing directly said about members' sick leave benefits in this legislation, but it is very clear, given the extent to which members of the Harper government are talking about sick leave, that is where all this is headed. The attacks on collective bargaining rights are about attempting to reduce our power so that when this employer, when this government brings our sick leave benefits to the table, they believe that they can create some kind of collective bargaining environment where our members will give up those rights, will give up those benefits. I actually don't think that's the case. I think that this government is very out of tune with what working Canadians really think and what's really important to them. People understand, I think, that a bad situation, a car accident, a serious illness can happen to anybody. And that sick leave benefits are what protect us as workers if we find ourselves in circumstances where for health reasons we need to make use of the sick leave provisions that exist in the collective agreement. And I think because that's an issue that touches each and every single worker potentially, it was a very foolish one for the Harper government to try and go forward with. There's one thing that I hear over and over again from members. There's one principle that they're absolutely prepared to fight for, and if there's one benefit that they think is an essential need for every worker and something that is at the bedrock of their security in going about their job and their lives on a daily basis, it's the access to have sick leave benefits if they need them.
Marianne, I want to touch on what you said about the rally that we had. 500 people did show up in a snowstorm to protest against the conservative policies and what's happening, the attack on workers. And in a poll earlier that we asked people on the call, what are you willing to do? 50% said that they're willing to do all of the actions mentioned. So, let's talk about this a little bit. How do people get involved? What's the next steps for people to take action and fight back against this?
So, right now Bill C-4 has passed and it's in committee. So it's being debated in the Finance Committee and the Human Resources Committee. And we'll be there. We'll be making presentations and, we'll be doing all of the legal arguments. But at the end of the day, what we need is we need 180,000 of our members to call their member of parliament and say, you've gone too far. You don't have the right to put my life at risk by changing the definition of danger. You don't have the right to take away my right to strike. We need the members to talk to their members of parliament. We need them to contact the regional offices. We have all these different committees. We have area councils that are locals getting together to see how we can advance the issues of our members. We have training. So we have all kinds of things happening throughout the region, and we need members to tell us what they're thinking. We need them to tell us, if they've talked to their MP, what response are you getting? Do you need information to take? Do you need someone to go with you? We need the members to stand up and say, enough is enough, and we're not going to let you do this to us. Without that, we will continue to fight, but it is just so much more powerful to have all of us stand together. And, the rest of the labor movement is behind us on this. They recognize that this is a targeted attack on PSAC members, and they recognize that that's an attack on workers.